no complaints there. Let's see, pocket twos. I think I just limped there. Probably should have just brought it in for a raise. Missed, check, and bet not fold. King queen suited. Middle position, I'll go ahead and make it about 2.5x. Maybe a little less. I get a call. So you see a flop, top pair, spade draw. So I'm definitely going to see bet this here about half the pot. He calls. Ace hits the turn. Obviously not a good card for me. He could have had the a suited ace of clubs and hit the ace now. But I went ahead and let out again, in case he was just on the spade draw without the ace, and he calls. And then another ace hits the board, so I'm pretty confident that he doesn't have the ace, and that my hand is good. So I check, and he checks, and he had the spade draw. So I guess it would have been, kind of a check to induce a bluff on the river. Obviously, if I bet the river, he's not calling, so I probably would have called a pretty large bet on the river. Ace jack, big blind, folds to me. Small blind shoves, pretty much a snap call for ace jack here. He's got queen 5, and of course he hits the 5. So nothing I can do there. Nice hand. King jack suited. Definitely calling here. Not gonna raise it. I just don't feel like, after with him being in the small blind and then with the limper, that's kind of fishy. So just gonna see a flop. Got a gut shot. Checked around. Safe board. Check, check, check again. And I think my king high he's gonna play, but he bets, so I just let it go. He easily could have had an ace there and just been slow playing it, so it's not worth it to call him down with king high there. The limp. Go ahead and limp with jack 10 on the button. And I flop middle pair. And so it gets checked to me, so I'm definitely c-betting this. About half the pot, and it gets folded to me. Let's see here. King, queen, under the gun raise. Can't call it, so I just let it go. And there's a call. I would have flopped top pair. Let's see here what happens. One shove, fold. So I guess my chips probably would have been in the middle if I had saw that flop. You seen that flop? So it was a good fold though, pre-flop obviously. So just gonna let it go. King jack in the big blind. Raise, shove, can't call. Ace jack, pocket twos, and the twos hold. Let's see what I do with ace 5 here. I just fold it. King queen again, under the gun. Just gonna let it go, and there's all in. And I would have missed. See, ace 4, call. I guess I just figured, okay, there was a min raise, so yeah, I'm not calling there, and a shove, ace king. King jack here, and the hijack, a little less than 2.5. Take it down. Ooh, pocket kings here. Okay. So I go ahead and make it a little more than 2.5x. Actually, maybe not even. 35. Yeah. Get called and a shove. Beautiful. And I re-raise it, and he's got aces. So obviously nothing I can do there. Just gonna lose. Never getting away from that hand. And I go in another dry spell. It just gets folded to me. That's always nice. Alright, pick up big slick suited, position. There's a raise in front of me. Pretty 3.2, 3.3x. And I don't really see any other move other than for me to shove there. And he calls ace queen suited. And holds. Ace king holds. So that was a key double up for me. I don't really blame him from calling though. And then I pick up ace king again. Make it a little more than 2.5x. I get flatted by the button. Missed the flop. I went ahead and c-bet it. He called. Okay, so queen hits the turn, giving me a gut shot now. I think he's flatting with either the draw here. I don't really put him on an overpair because he didn't repop me pre-flop or on the flop either. I mean, I guess he could have a 10, but my guess is that he's just got a flush draw with overs. So I'm going to proceed with caution here. I don't see a reason for me to bet again. I check, and then he just bets 5,000. That was a very nice bet for me because obviously I can call here. I was afraid if he bet big I'd have to fold this, but for 5,000, I mean, I just can't fold. I mean, I don't want to shove either, but I'm just gonna call and think Gin River. So I do have the nuts right now. I don't want to check it to him. I feel like he's going to check behind a lot. So I do want to bet for value. I bet a little under half the pot. So again, since he did have big cards, I think he may have hit the jack in some way and is just going to make a crying call here. And he did. And he actually had a set of jacks. So that was pretty gross, a pretty gross river for him. I think if I checked, he probably would have bet, and then I could have shoved, and he would have called. But I'm happy with this big pot here, and this put me in really good position here. So gave me the chip lead at the table, and I go on another dry spell for a while. Ace queen here. If ace queen the big blind, there's a call and a shove by donking it up about 10x. I have the hib covered, so I'm really not really worried about him. So I just go ahead and call it. I put donking up on a pretty wide range here, and I don't think I can really fold ace queen. He could have a smaller ace or a pocket pair we're flipping. So, and he's got 10 jack suited, and he banks a 10. So. Made the right call, but it's okay. At least we had the chip. I had the chips to absorb it. King 10 suited in small blind. I complete. Missed the flop. Now, I really sensed the weakness here, so I just went ahead and led because I really didn't think anybody hit this board. Nobody's going to have a 5 to be open-ended. I think flush draw would have bet. So, yeah, I went ahead and just took it down. ace 10. Went ahead and make it 2.5x and took it down under the gun. Seven six suited, all in front of me, can't call. So the cutoff with a6, and I get shoved on by the short stack. So I'm pretty much committed to call here. And he's got king 10, and my ace high holds. Had he had a lot more chips than me, obviously probably would fold. But since he didn't have that much, I figured I pretty much had to call there. Ace queen suited, made a little less than 3x bet, and I took it down. Ace 9 of hearts, again same bet and taking it down. Ace 7 here. It's raised by the cutoff, which I have covered, and again I think it's a pretty wide range, and I do have an ace in the big blind. So I'm gonna see a flop, and I miss, and he doesn't c-bet. I would have folded to a c-bet, but he goes ahead and lets it go. So I just lead into him. I lead about a little more than a third of the pot. Put him on big cards, and he can't really call. Well, he does call. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that he doesn't have the flush. I guess he would have c-bet the flop with the flush draw. So he could have had maybe ace king and was just hoping to spike an ace or a king. And I felt like the only way I could really win this hand is to bet again and represent the flush. I mean, I don't think my just ace 7 is going to take it down there. So I went ahead and let out, and he really can't call or raise without the flush, or trips are better. And he just folds.